What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including your money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package, stimulus check update, everything you need to know about. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here. Also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Lindsey Graham from the Republican side. Senator Bernie Sanders considers himself an independent. Just had a debate, and it was a very interesting debate here. I can't get any footage from Senator Lindsey Graham's side yet. I'm just not able to get the footage yet. I'm going to try to. But here's Senator Bernie Sanders' side. Let me know your thoughts here on this. But they had quite a debate here. Check this out.
Independent in the history of the United States Congress. So what I'm going to tell you today is not something that you hear very often on Fox or CNN or ABC or the Washington Post, or in fact in the halls of Congress. What I'm going to tell you is that the working class and the middle class of this country are in serious trouble. We are moving toward an oligarchic form of society where a small number of billionaires not only have extraordinary wealth, they have extraordinary political power. We are living at a time when half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck in the wealthiest country on earth, when 70 million Americans have no health insurance or are underinsured, when we have a starvation minimum wage at the federal level of $7.25 an hour, where half of the elderly workers, older workers in this country, have nothing in the bank as they fear retirement. What I believe is that now is the time not to defend the establishment, which is doing phenomenally well. When you have two people on top in America who own more wealth than the bottom 40%, two people, top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 92%. CEOs of major corporations today are making 350 times more than their workers, and we have more income and wealth inequality than any time in American history. Now is the time for the American people to stand up, make it clear that enough is enough, and that we need a government that starts representing all of our people, not just wealthy campaign contributors. What does that mean? It means that we have to end a corrupt political system in which big money buys elections. It means that we have to end a very unfair tax system in which billionaires in a given year don't pay a nickel in federal taxes. It means we have to raise the federal minimum wage to at least $15 an hour. It means that we have to join every other major country on earth in understanding that health care is a human right, not a privilege, and stop spending twice as much per capita on health care to enrich the drug companies and the insurance companies. It means that Medicare is going to have to negotiate prescription drug prices so that we can lower the cost of prescription drugs by 50%. It means that we cannot continue to be the only major country on earth not to have paid family and medical leave. It means that we have to restore the $300 tax credit so that we are not continuing to be a nation which has one of the highest rates of childhood poverty in the United States. It means that we have to expand Medicare to cover dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses so that elderly people in this country can live out their remaining years in dignity. And it means, among other things, that we cannot continue to ignore climate change, which is an existential threat to this planet. And obviously, given the tragedies that we have faced in the last month in terms of guns, we need serious and real gun safety legislation. Bottom line, let's create a government that works for all of us, not just the people on top. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts there in the comments. And he talks about a lot of the problems that we have here in our country. 50% of seniors here retire with only, or, around 50%, only with Social Security. And the problem here with Social Security is that it's not enough. It's not enough. And then uh, inflation is just eating away here right now at everybody's living, especially people on Social Security, SSI, SDI, VA, RRB, everybody underneath the Social Security umbrella. And Social Security is just not enough. And Senator Bernie Sanders has just come out with a brand new bill to raise Social Security benefits by $2,400 per year and to raise the minimum uh, Social Security benefit payouts to $1,415 per year by making the what they call the wealthy pay their fair share. People that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year pay a little bit more into the Social Security system. If you haven't seen my video on that, I'll link you to that video here at the end of this video. And I mean, that's wealth inequality that they talk about. He mentions people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos who have billions and billions and billions of dollars that they don't use, and their wealth continues to grow by the month. I mean, of course, it fluctuates and stuff, but by the year, as the years go on, they're going to be trillionaires eventually, and they physically can't even use all the money, especially for one person. So for you think about people like that and other billionaires in the United States, and a lot of times they pay very little to no taxes because the money just sits in their account and grows. And if they don't make a transactable account or transaction, on their stocks or anything like that, they don't pay any taxes. So they can oftentimes make billions and billions and billions of dollars more money and not even pay anything. A school teacher making 40,000 a year can actually pay more taxes than the founder of Amazon. It's kind of crazy. And that's just one problem. You look at how we're paying 2.5 times more on average for prescription drugs here in the United States than any other country in the world. And oftentimes, this is for the exact same prescriptions by the exact same pharmaceutical companies that sell them in other countries. So these exact same companies sell these exact same prescriptions in other countries like Canada, the United Kingdom. They sell them over in Europe. They just sell them for a lot less over there. Why is that? Because they literally know that they can just gouge us. It's very similar to big oil gouging us right now. Oil companies are making 300% roughly more profit than they made just last year alone. Why are they making 300% more profit than last year? Because they can. Yeah, and the problem with medicine, life changing pharmaceutical stuff that you need to survive, you think about inhalers, insulin, you think about cancer drug, you think about all these different type of stuff a lot of it that you need to survive, blood thinners, all this different kind of stuff, any type of prescription, right? Some of them are life saving, right? And some of it I mean, there's literally people that die because they can't afford it. And when you think about how much more we pay than every other country in the world, it's a travesty. It's a travesty, and it's nothing more than corporate greed. And we have now had several bills that have wanted to, including the last version of Build Back Better, which passed in the House and then stalled in the Senate, largely because of, well, Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kirsten Sinema just didn't want to vote for it at that time. In that bill was a provision to lower the cost of prescription drug prices for the whole country. They were going to have the Medicare government system be able to negotiate prices for basically the whole country for all healthcare insurance systems. They were going to negotiate on the behalf of us. Yeah, so it was something like, because again, each kind of prescription is a little bit different, but if as long as the prescription wasn't a brand new drug to the market, it had to be several years old because the kind of the agreement they came to with the congressman, because remember everything's kind of a an agreement. There's always compromise here. The legislators agreed that these pharmaceutical companies do spend millions and billions of dollars you know, in research and coming up with these life-saving drugs and stuff. So if it's a brand new prescription that just came out to the market, they spent a lot of money making this. So if it's something like if it's new to the market and it's only a few years old, then they can't negotiate the price on the drug. But after it's a few years old, of something like 6 years old or 8 years old or something like that, then they can start to negotiate the prices on it. But guess what? It didn't pass because they weren't able to pass Build Back Better. Not a single Republican wanted to vote for it, just like not a single Republican voted for the third stimulus check package. And even though all the Republicans, or a lot of Republicans, did vote for the second stimulus check package that was voted on in December, 1 month before Trump left office, but they weren't willing to vote for the next package that was literally like a couple months later. The only difference was Biden was in office. So the economy needed help in December, but not a few months later. And you kind of got to look at things like this. Like, why does the United States pay 2.5 times more money for over 100 million Americans, anybody who pays for prescription drugs? And even if you don't pay for them, like if you pay a copay or something like that, you're paying for them inside your monthly health insurance bill. One way or another, you're paying for them. Yeah, and this money is kind of also built into Medicare and these other things. You think about the raise that happened to Medicare Part B this last year. That was it went from $148.50 to $170.10. They say that about half of that was from the prescription drug Alduhelm for Alzheimer's. Yeah, about half of that. Now, because of what has happened, um, first of all, the pharmaceutical company that makes it has lowered the cost of that for $56,000. That's right, $56,000 per year per patient. You can't make this stuff up. Down to $28,000. It's like $28,200, something like that. I know you. This is how insane these companies take advantage of Americans here, guys. Um, and the results for this drug are not even spectacular. There's some experts saying that that Medicare shouldn't even have this drug available because the results are not even, they're questionable at best. But they're saying that there might not even be a raise to Medicare Part B next year at all because of, they basically made every single person on Medicare Part B pay for this massive prescription that was one. Of course, when they figure out Medicare Part B, inside Social Security raises, all the prescription costs are in there, all the healthcare costs are in there, all these things are in there every single year, right? As part of, they figure out the cost of everything. Yeah, so this one massive costing prescription drug that costs $56,000 per patient per year blew a hole in the whole budget. Yeah, so figure that one out when you realize how big of a deal the cost of prescription drug pricing is. Yeah, and then you'll kind of realize how passing a bill to lower prescription drug pricing is. Imagine if they lowered prescription drug pricing. Imagine if you're on if you pay for Medicare and you're paying that $170 every single month. And when you think about, it just went up $21 a month just because, and half of that was just because of this one prescription drug. Imagine if we passed a bill to lower prescription drugs across the board for every American out there. Yeah, now you're thinking, right? Now every time like I have an inhaler. I've had asthma since I was like a teenager. It doesn't bother me that much, but I do need it occasionally. It's kind of like a steroid inhaler, so it kind of strengthens my lung when I do take it as well. So it strengthens my lungs over time. When we buy that, it's like $500. And I have a $5,000 deductible on my insurance, which basically means they don't pay anything until I pay $5,000 for the year. So basically, I have to pay for it in full until we pay $5,000, which sometimes we actually do hit our deductible. My wife's got a kidney disease called MSK, and she's in pain like almost every day from it. She's got some serious pain problems from this kidney disease that she has, and so she's had a few operations actually where they've removed kidney stones from her kidney and stuff. So we've hit the deductibles from there. And then with my dizziness, I have dizziness every single day from this. It's like vertigo, but it's not vertigo. It's called PPPD, and still trying to figure it out. But I have it every day. It's ridiculous. Trying to figure these things out is it's like trying to figure out an issue in your brain. It's not easy, but nonetheless, some years we actually hit our $5,000 deductibles, $5,000 per person, or $10,000 max for the family because there's three of us, me, Laurel, and my son Julian. But insurance is expensive. All these things are expensive. Everything's expensive, man. It's living here in the U.S. is expensive. Gas is expensive, food's expensive, healthcare is expensive, prescription drugs expensive. So you got to kind of realize that lowering costs is actually a way to save us a lot of money. But the problem here is that they have to actually pass some of these things. And the other problem here is that Democrats and Republicans seem like they rarely want to get together to pass something like this. And the other problem is that Democrats tried to do this on their own, and Joe Manchin and maybe Kirsten Sinema, she's so quiet that she literally did like one interview ever. Who knows how much they had to pay her to get that interview out of her, like, right? But the problem here is Kirsten Sinema, she rarely ever even talks. So you don't even know what her what you're going to get out of her if she's going to ultimately vote yes or no when it actually comes time to vote. They did both vote yes for the third stimulus check package with the child tax credits and the rent assistance, the mortgage assistance, the utility assistance, and the $1,400 checks for the third stimulus check package. But when it came down for the fourth package, it got stalled. So now Joe Manchin's working on a new version of this. We don't know what it's going to have in it. Is it going to lower prescription drug pricing? Is there going to be inflation relief checks for Americans to help everybody out right now with inflation and help them pay for gas, help them pay for prescription drugs? help them pay for anything. What all these states are helping people, or a lot of states are helping people pay for stuff right now. And as we get closer to the elections, there's probably going to be a lot more states saying, "Listen, we got billions of dollars sitting there from the last stimulus package, the state money, and because our states are just raking in the cash because unemployment's low and people are paying more taxes. Maybe we should actually help our people out." So let me know your thoughts here. There's a lot that government can do to help out with inflation. We talked about just a couple of them. Bernie talked about even more, but they gotta actually do something. You can't just say inflation's high. Let's blame whoever. Let's blame Biden. Let's blame Putin. Let's blame whoever we want to blame. Blame whoever. It doesn't matter who you blame. We have to actually do something. We have to actually do something. That is the most important thing. So email, call, tweet your senators, tweet your House representatives, tweet your governors. Because if they don't make action, it doesn't matter. That's the important thing. So write them on Twitter, call them up on the phone, send them letters. They're elected officials. And again, you literally might send them one message that they might see, or their representative might see, and that might be the one thing they see, and they might say, "You know what? We should do that." That literally might be the one message that could just put the idea in their head, and that might be all that matters. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date here with what's going on here. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's free. It's one of the only thing that's free left here in life. So after you subscribe, click the bell icon to get notifications when we go live here every day, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on any new videos. You can click here to see my newest video here with Senator Bernie Sanders and a $2,400 raise for Social Security. And here is my newest video on stimulus checks that are going out here for lots of states. Yeah, that's actually a thing. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.